So congratulations on completing your first handful of practical projects and for learning the basics on creating a web page and headers and paragraphs and formatting your text. It's always hard to get started with this stuff, and especially getting your head around these different tags and understanding how things actually work. So congratulations on making it this far. At this point we're going to be learning a few more fun things. We're going to start off by learning how to actually create URLs. So for example, how we can create a clickable link. So someone could, for example, click on a link and it leads us to some kind of website. So without any further ado, let's get started right away with me showing you how you can create some URLs. So first of all, just for fun, I'm going to put a title in the head content so that we've got the title of the tab, and then in the body here I'm just going to put a h1, a header. So this is the title and the actual content, saying URLs here, and right now we're going to put in a paragraph just saying click below to access a website. Excellent. So now we are going to create the tag which is for creating links, which is A, and this actually stands for anchor. So I'm going to do this manually, put in the A here, and then put in the closing tag here. So what you want to do, A basically stands for anchor. It could have had an easier letter to remember it by, but that's just how it is. So we're going to use A, and then what we want to include here, and what's actually quite helpful, is that what Atom is doing is actually telling us the things that we could include in here. So what we want to include is href. So this is actually us saying, okay, this is where, when the link is clicked, where it should take the user. So we put A, and then still inside this more or less than, or inside the carets, we want to include href equals, and then in quotations, the full URL for where we want it to go. So http:// www. And then we're going to just go to the search engine that I use, ecosia.com. So I'm going to save that, and let's see how that goes. So I'm just going to open it up here, to URLs. Then we're missing one thing. So as you can see, that's worked well, that we've got the title, we've got the header, and we've got the paragraph. But for some reason, we can't actually click anything to take us to this website. So why do you think that might be? Well, there's no text, because usually when you click on something, it's like a button or it's a bit of text saying click here or something like that. So that's actually what we put in between the two, in between the opening and the closing tags. So I'm just going to put click here. So now what's going to happen when we refresh the page, you're going to see that we're going to have some text that just says click here, and then when we click it, it will take us to Ecosia. So here we are, I'll refresh the page. There we go, click here, and then we click on it. Perfect, it takes us right to the website. So now we're really starting to get a bit more interactive with what we're doing here. So not only can we link it to, for example, an external website, we could also link it to other HTML files. So for example, let's say we wanted URLs to be connected with our portfolio page. So let's have a think about how we could do that. So it's not going to be the http www blah blah blah, because we don't have a domain name at the moment. This isn't online. But what we could do, we could actually instead just try portfolio.html. Now what's really important to note is that portfolio.html is in the same folder as URLs. Okay, if portfolio was in a different folder, it wouldn't be as easy just to say portfolio.html. But let's give this a try. I'm going to say click here to see my portfolio. Right, let's see how this one goes. We refresh here, click here to see my portfolio. Then it links right to our portfolio website. So some really exciting stuff here, and it really opens up what we can do. So you'll see in some of the coming lectures just how powerful this can be. So what we've gone over in this lecture is basically how to create URLs or links to similar sites. So we're just going to refresh. What we did is we used the A tag. So A is for saying, right, this is going to be something that the user can click to go to somewhere else, whether that's a website or whether that's one of our other HTML files. Now in production, obviously we wouldn't be using files because everything would be online. And then what we did is we added the href. So this tells the computer basically where the address needs to be. And if we want it to be some kind of website, we have to include the http://www. I used ecosure.com. And that's in these quotation marks. And then in between the opening and closing tags, we included some text, which is what we needed in order for the user to be able to click on it. So I'll be showing you in future lectures that you don't just need to have text, you could actually have an image that someone could click to go to a website. But for now, just keep in mind that you want to be using this A tag and the href inside of the tag to dictate where the user goes, and then having the text in between the opening and closing tags. So what I recommend you do now is create your own basic web page now, similar to this, and just play around with linking to not only external sites, but maybe some of the HTML files that you've created as well. Just make sure that whichever file this is, so for example the urls.html, make sure the file is in the same folder as this one. That's very, very important, otherwise it won't work. Okay, so best of luck, and I'll see you in the next lecture.